Welcome to Coding in the Cinema. Today I'm discussing the November announcements from the Criterion Collection. This is a really good list, a lot of variation, and there's something here for just about any kind of film fan. And I'm going to go roughly in order of how excited I am for each one, least to most. And I like the Hell's Angels from 1930, the Howard Hughes film. Now this is getting a release. I'm so glad we're getting a 1930 film. This apparently broke some new technical ground, sound and color technology. You know, it captured apparently some really good dogfight scenes. I really like Only Angels Have Wings, the Hawks film, right? It's a great flight film, and I did a video about films like that. But this is some kind of a romance film as well. It said on the website that this was the product of a really long, dangerous production that actually resulted in the deaths of some crew members. And so I'm having a feeling that we're going to see some of that chaos translate over to the film. I have not seen it, but if you're excited for it, let me know. I don't think I'm going to get that one, but it's definitely something I'm glad is there. It's also pre-code, so that should help a little bit with the excitement. Now, House Party is one I've kind of been thinking, I wonder if Criterion will pick that film up. And the hip-hop duo Kid and Play bring their star power to the big screen as MCs preparing for the party of the year. And it's literally a house party, beloved feel-good snapshot of early 1990s hip-hop culture. And it brought black teenage experience to the mainstream, shining to this day. Sounds interesting to me. I've been wanting to see it for a long time. Probably will pick that one up in a sell. You all have to let me know. But that's one that I'm glad is in the collection. Also, if you weren't aware, and I think I have, where are you? Yeah, The Breakfast Club is getting a 4K. I have Blu-ray. Really good, enjoyable comedy here. What happens when five strangers end up getting together at Saturday Detention? Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald, Judd Nelson. Really, still the show in this one. It's a good comedy, sometimes a great comedy. I'm not in love with the end, but I think this is a really good, mainstream thing to have in the collection. We need to sell movies like this. Things that break that pop culture barrier and help bring people into the collection, I think are very important to have in it. And so I'm glad that we're getting a 4K of The Breakfast Club. I didn't even know for a long time that was in the collection. Watched it with my wife and mother-in-law one day. Really enjoyable experience. All right, what else? I'm pretty excited, if not greatly excited, actually, the more I think about it. So I talked about this in my Eclipse reaction video. So if you're unaware, the Eclipse series, which I have a late Ozu Eclipse series right here. These are getting, not all these, but some of these are getting Blu-ray versions. And then we're getting some others we've never had. So what they'll do is they'll package a series of films together. Like this is some of Ozu's work later in his life. Very good pack to have on DVD there. But the Kiarostami, Abbas Kiarostami's early shorts and features looks awesome to me. It's going to, that's the director of Close Up and The Wind Will Carry Us, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, The Wind Will Carry Us. Which I have on my shelf over here. I did a video on The Wind Will Carry Us. This is a great Kiarostami film. I've seen 3 or 4 of his pictures now, and I'm really glad that we're getting an Eclipse series from him. So that's going to, I think that has a ton of stuff in it, right? It's like 17 pieces of filmmaking or something. I forget exactly how many it is, but definitely glad to be getting an Eclipse of that. All right. There's a film that this was really funny to me that we got Burden of Dreams. And it's something of a running joke that we have not gotten a Werner Herzog film in the collection that I know of. I don't think there is one in the Criterion Collection. But what we are getting here, so if you've never heard of Fitzcarraldo, Roger Ebert put that film on his great movies list, and I think he had similar thoughts to me. It is great in a sense. It's another crazy Klaus Kinski movie where he's trying to literally take a ship across a mountain, like not in the water, like dragged with workers and different people and so forth. And the whole thing is insane. If you read about the insane tension between him and Herzog, it's crazy. So I'm really looking, I want to see this documentary. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but I'm glad the Criterion Collection picked that up. I really want them to pick up My Voyage to Italy, Scorsese's film that I love so much, about his, experience with growing up with Italian films. But I like that they have a documentary about films in here. So Burden of Dreams, someone besides me is excited for that. Just in my notes here, the documentary it's about, like, so Herzog had this determination to shoot the most daunting scenes without models or special effects, including a sequence requiring hundreds of indigenous people to pull a full-size 320-ton steamship over a small mountain. Like, it's not really the most even film, but I mean, it's certainly something you have to experience at least once. So I love Nosferatu, Herzog's version of Nosferatu. It's one of my favorite films ever. And it's cool, to see. And even if we don't get a Herzog film, at least we kind of do. There's probably licensing things there, if I had to guess. That's what I've heard. All right, we have 2 other releases, I think, to cover. And these 2 are real special. So, remember, Viridiana was a film by Louis Buñuel that I watched a few months ago. Great film about this woman who might become a nun, and there's this Last Supper scene and this really terrible situation with this older man that she's in. But we're getting a film of his called Elle, 1953, and apparently this is the surrealist master's fiendish tale of love gone wrong. And it's said, and I hope this is true, that it's one of the most perverse and unsettling films he made when he was in exile in Mexico. It is a stylized nightmare. So there's this woman who discovers that the outward sophistication of her husband masks disturbing depths of jealousy and paranoia. Sounds like the kind of psychologically driven black and white nightmare I'm going to like. I love Bela Tarr. I have done a few videos on Bela Tarr. I don't know, we'll see if there's any similarity there, for example. But I'm looking forward to that. I think that's a pretty important kind of a film to have in there. And like, you can already see there's a lot of different kinds of films being released this month. But we're kidding ourselves if we're not all excited about Eyes Wide Shut. Finally. I've been waiting for Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut to be in this collection for so long. I try to have, Kubrick's films in my library at all times. I think there's a really cool Shining edition coming out in December that I'm really wanting to grab, even though it's like $90. Eyes Wide Shut, I haven't seen this in 15 years. It was they're 12 years. It's been a long time. But I remember, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise are talking about jealousy in their marriage and possible affairs that could have happened. It's a Christmas time odyssey into a surreal sexual underworld. It is, I know it's like not the most, it kind of plays around with the reality of New York City, right? And I've gone back and looked at clips of it over the years, and Nicole Kidman in To Die For is an extraordinary film in this collection. Just a great film. And she's such an actress, right? Alongside Tom Cruise. And so seeing this again and seeing that late Kubrick film will be a lot of fun. I like the cover. I think my favorite cover of all these, I really like the House Party cover, probably out of all these the best. But I kind of like that. I don't know, that Eyes Wide Shut cover, I could see that being, that artwork, I could see that being kind of polarizing. But I enjoyed it. I'm so glad that's in the collection now. I mean, if you go on Reddit, we've been talking about it for literally just years. When is that coming? So glad to see another Kubrick enter the collection. Always a big win there. If you liked the video today and want to click that thumbs up button and tell me what you're most looking forward to in the November announcements, and subscribe if you haven't. to Cody in the Cinema.